like to talk to you about your feet. You know, feet. Well, you need shoes. Here's the Breakaway by Buster Brown for stepping out in style. And for really moving out is the Action 220 with the fast-track treads. For girls, here's the Squiggle, the patent leather shoe with party color swirls, or the Tilly with the cute little turtle on it. And that about covers your feet.
You can get a free set of decals to cut out and have Mom iron on when you buy Buster Brown shoes at participating stores.
Jerry's Buster Brown, East Valley, Alhambra, Cerritos Mall, Cerritos, Santa Anita Mall, Arcadia.
Comic books have been favorites with kids since they started almost 40 years ago. And with us today is a man who began as an 18-year-old cartoonist and now is the president and publisher of the largest comic book company in the industry. He drew Batman for 13 years, and he created such all-time superheroes as the Flash, the Green Lantern. Let's have a nice, warm Wonderama welcome for Carmine Infantino. Carmine! All right. Thank you for joining our youngsters today. And by the way, I understand you promised everybody one of your great big jumbo comic books today.
Yes, I think we have one for everyone in the audience.
All right, how about that? You know, that's great because I think youngsters are really comic book fans. And what was the first comic book or character that ever came out?
The very first one was a character called Superman.
Was Superman the first
then
comic?
and he is now.
And I guess he's more popular than ever.
Today, more so. He goes around the world. Every country in the world watches Superman and reads him.
Oh, that's fine. How did Superman start? What was
Superman,
story on it?
Yes, it's not as easy as it sounded. Some young men came in with this character to this company called National Periodicals. And they said, we have a character called Superman who flies and jumps and lifts locomotives. He says, nobody believed that, and they put it on a shelf.
Is that? They said, oh, go on.
No one would go near it. And about a year later, they were putting out the magazine, and there was a hole in the magazine, which meant they had no story for the beginning. So somebody
It was just a regular children's magazine?
That's all it was called, Action Comics, with just little odd stories here and there. And somebody said, remember that thing, that
crazy
story?
Person that came in here?
So I said, well, stick that in there. And they did. And it sold 1 million copies a month from then on.
Oh, my. Gee, that's fascinating.
It's very unusual.
Really, you started now, in the introduction, I said you started at 18 years old.
That's right. I did some characters. I'd like to try doing some now.
Hey, that's great.
Maybe they'll remember.
Our young people would love to see it. All right, see if our youngsters can guess who Carmine's going to draw here. And what got you started, Carmine, into
cartooning? I guess, like most kids, we were born during the Depression age, and I suppose a lot of us, Dennis I know, did. And at that time, there wasn't much else to do. You couldn't eat or work, so you drew. The drawing developed into something else, and we began doing drawings. And then one day I went up and got a job doing this fella.
Oh, youngsters, who is that, huh? Looks like they know right away. Boy, you pull that magic marker out and go right to town on it, too. Looks like you've drawn him a few times.
Yeah, I've done him many, many years. There was a time when Mr. Bob Kane, who originated the character many, many years ago, he got involved in so many other things, and there wasn't time for him to be doing the character, and then they asked me, would I mind taking over? I said, not at all. I did, and I've been doing them for quite a long time.
Gee, that's fascinating. Look at that. How about that, youngsters? Do you have any favorites that you've drawn over the years?
Yeah, yeah, there was another character. I don't know if the youngsters will remember him. I did him a while back.
It's hard to fool these people, but I'll bet you, they guess right away.
We'll
youngsters,
try.
you keep an eye on it.
They got it. They got him.
The Flash, yes. You know, there's been a lot of controversy, I know, about comic books. How do you feel about them as an art form or anything else?
I wouldn't be in this sort of thing if I didn't believe in it. We are finding, and I know many parents have wondered about comics, but we have found over the years that comics have helped, and we have letters from parents and teachers in schools who are helping kids read nowadays.
Actually,
through
the
comics
themselves.
It's a way to get them interested, looking, watching, and noticing things. And this whole thing has been developing more and more so. Now comics are being sold in schools to teach us.
Speaking of that, let me give you a plug, because I know you've got something brand new, and I want to ask you about it, because I just wonder if there's any controversy about it. Youngsters, I wonder if you can see that. Yeah.
I think if we open it up,
All right.
it's something we've wanted to do. It's one of the greatest stories ever told in the world. It's the story of the Bible.
The story of the Bible.
And it's illustrated.
Yeah, let's kind of tilt it this way, So actually, you're coming out with a comic book on the Bible.
That's right.
Or comic books.
Well, it's
on the different
illustrated stories of the Bible from beginning to end, the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Have people objected to that, saying, you know, why are you taking the world's greatest book and making a comic book?
No, on the contrary. We've had people look at this thing. All the people with the know-how has checked it out, gone over it, and they applaud the idea. Many clergymen are going to use
marvelous.
it.
What's the story? Let me move this off so you can continue drawing for us. What's the story about the rival between Superman and Captain Marvel? Or
Many, many years ago, when Superman was born and getting very popular, another character came along, a character called Captain Marvel.
Right.
And the Superman people...
Shazam.
Shazam.
Yes, I remember that as a child myself.
The people from Superman figured that Shazam was just an imitation of Superman, and they sued them. And lo and behold, poor Shazam lost in the courtroom, and he went on the shelf.
And he came back?
Well, about 3 years ago, I flipped over that character as a kid. I loved him myself.
Yeah, I did too.
He was simple. He was like Fred McMurray, big, tall, simple guy. And finally, we brought him back. We spoke to the people that owned him. They agreed. They brought him back. Now he and Superman are big rivals.
Well, that's wild. It really is. Carmine, I want to thank you for being on Wonderama. Go ahead, keep drawing on there because our youngsters love to see it. We have a drawing contest coming up with our young people. I'd love for you to join our young people and maybe give them a few pointers. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Carmine will be right back with some more tips on showing you how to draw right here on Wonderama.
My Uncle O'Grimacy is coming to visit, and I didn't get him a present.
Ah, a shamrock shake coming up.
Oh, sure, and be Cora House, me little nephew.
Here, Uncle O'Grimacy.
Oh, you shouldn't have a shamrock shake, I take it. Oh, it's great. It's green. Where on earth can we get more?
There's only one place on earth to get a shamrock shake. McDonald's. But only for a limited time.
I better have one then.
Sure, and be Cora.
Yahoo!
Hurry, here comes Twinkie the Kid now.
Twinkie! They're blowing up the bridge!
Oh, yeah? Climb aboard. Here's your reward.
Gee, Hostess Twinkies! Great cake! Creamy filling!
You get a big delight in every bite of Hostess Twinkies.
Here's what to watch out for on a Universal Studios tour. Watch out for the monsters. Watch out for an avalanche. A collapsing bridge. A runaway train. The parting of the Red Sea. The stuntmen. There are lots of things to watch out for at Universal Studios, especially the fun.
Raylene, Lego my Eggo French toast.
Billy Bob, Lego my Eggo French toast.
Lego my Eggo, set it free. Don't break up our family. But I love its homemade taste.
And I love it because it's so easy to fix.
Hey, we found some more Eggos in the freezer.
We're together once again. Start your good breakfast with Eggo French toast and Eggo blueberry flavored waffles. From Kellogg's.
You ought to be in pictures. You're wonderful to see.